What is happening? It's the Nintendo Powercast, episode 370. I'm your host, N64 Josh. Crawler, what's up, dude?
Yo, Crawler coming at you.
Johnny Bo, how are you?
I'm good. If I'm echoing, I give you permission to mute me. This is the one time only.
Cheesy, what's up, dude?
And I like this stream already. This podcast. What's going on, cheese curds?
Oh my gosh, you guys, it's so good to be back hanging out. We've played some amazing games this week. Before we jump into it, remember the Smash Bros tournament is happening very, very soon. You got a couple weeks left to sign up, so make sure you head over to n64josh.com/smash. The Patreon for this show is going to be set up. I tried to get to it this week, and I'm too busy. I'm too busy.
Hold up your arm. Show why.
Oh, well, yeah, I had 2 days of tattoos. So 2 days, 1 day of designing, 1 day of tattoo. So if you guys, I don't know, you could probably see the Mario Kart, the Super Mario Kart cover. If you're watching on Spotify or YouTube, is now on my right arm. So there you go.
We got the same tattoo. Mine's just in a very risque spot. I won't show it online.
Ooh.
Wow. I mean, okay.
Still a bet?
Yeah, we had, it was one of us lost a bet, I think. So, we're doing TikTok lives at 4 p.m. doing some Mario Kart and some wanted streams. They've been a great time. We're still hitting up Twitch and stuff with some Mario Kart. So if you guys are looking to get some games, come hang out. It's a great time. Crawler, I know you're making some TikToks now, and you're probably going to be doing some live streaming here at some point on TikTok, but let everybody know where they can find you real quick before we jump into this.
Yeah, Twitter and TikTok are the best two spots. Nightcrawler724, Nightcrawlers without the E.
Johnny, how about you?
I'm Johnny Bo everywhere, and I'm making a comeback soon.
As soon as the room's put together.
Yeah, as soon as the room's put together. But I'm all set up, so I might do a stream here or there.
Love it. And Cheesy, how about you?
You can find me on TikTok, Twitter, Twitch, Instagram, CheezyC64, CheezyC64.
There you go. So, first up, Crawler and I just played some Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Shredder's Revenge. You guys are going to see gameplay here on the screen. I can the opening to this was such a nostalgia,
it's the straight song. Is it new?
Yes, they got the band back together to do a more like an upbeat version of it. And from my understanding, if I remember correctly from the news cycle with this game, every character that they've shown on this screen, every villain, I had the action figure or still have the action figure for it. You guys have no idea how much this game excites me. Playing the first 3 levels with Crawler, I was like, it's just so good. It's so good. I cannot say it enough. Chat is saying, let's see the tat. Let's see the tat. So I mean, listening to Crawler go like, did you see the animation? Or that, it's just been, this game is a breath of fresh air right now. It really
the music
is.
in the 3rd level we think is Mike Shinoda.
Yeah, maybe Fort Minor. I'm gonna check right now. So now before we go too much further, I know Cheesy, you haven't played yet, but just what are your hype levels for Shredder's Revenge?
I mean, honestly, that opening, that looked rad. You know, it looked really cool. I'm excited to jump in and give it a shot. It's like I've talked about it before. I'm not really I didn't grow up with Ninja Turtles. I did a little bit. I remember watching, what was the one movie where they were in the costumes and you could see the eyes through the mouth. I remember watching that a ton.
There was 1, 2, and 3. Do you remember which one?
I don't.
They made of the Ooze.
Hold on.
They went back in time.
They made 3 of those movies where you can see the eyes through the mouth. Yeah. And it was just this costume. That's insane. This game looks great, so I'm excited to try it out.
Here's what I'll say about this game before I let Johnny go, because I'm just on like hype level 9,000 right now. This game feels, I love it when a retro, like a kind of throwback game does this. Okay. Where the game feels like the game you remember playing, right? Because sometimes you go back to a retro game and you're like, oh, this isn't quite as good. Now, don't get me wrong, the Turtles games definitely hold up. They definitely hold up. No question.
And we'll have those here in a little bit too.
We will. Yeah, at least the arcade game and Turtles 2 on the NES and Turtles 4 and Turtles 3, those they all hold up. But oftentimes there's some rose tinted glasses when you go back to these games. This is how I like this game is we've done 3 levels. I will give it a 10 out of 10 for me. It took me back. I've said it on here before. The first game I ever played all night, watch the sun come up, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2, the arcade game. I would just play with one turtle, beat it. My buddy, I was staying the night at his house. He passed out. I'd pick the next turtle, run all the way through the game. Next turtle, run all the way through the game. Like, I love Turtles games. This feels like the series has evolved, even though we haven't seen one in so long. Like it's probably more of an obvious statement, but sometimes, I mean, I didn't get to spend a ton of time with like Streets of Rage 4, but the little bit that I did, it was chef's kiss. And the same is true for Turtles. So if you have any nostalgia whatsoever, or if you want to be introduced to what we used to have to play in the arcades as kids or on the NES, this is a great entry. And if you have an Xbox and Game Pass, you don't have to buy anything. It is available there. Otherwise, I think it's $30 on the
It's on sale right now for like
24.99.
22 something, I think.
20. Okay, yeah. So it was like 10% off, I guess. So 20. I think it was 25 normal, so you can get it for like 22.49 or whatever. But
Physical coming to
limited run. Yes.
And I think limited run, this is a big enough release that limited run has usually deals with Best Buy, and the standard edition, usually it's a different cover. But I think that's already up for pre-order as well, just at Best Buy. Like, so look for that. Maybe just the regular, maybe not the special edition from Limited Run. Maybe they got I haven't looked because I ordered it from Limited Run. But you're getting a free personal pan pizza in the box if you do it, just like back in the day.
Yeah, that's food I want to eat. Here's what was hilarious is Domino's had the deal for the first movie, but Pizza Hut had the deal for the first game. And when you watch the movie on VHS, that's where a tape goes around inside of these plastic rectangle boxes, kids.
Oh yeah, no, I think I've heard of that.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
The beginning, I'm going to sing it for you guys. It was a Pizza Hut commercial, and it went like this. Off in the distance, the game's dragging on. There's strikes on the batter. Some runners are on. Does anybody remember this commercial? No? Oh, my gosh. The kid in right field playing with the dandelions. The baseball falls into his glove. I play
was
right
me.
All right.
field.
Yeah. I remember that.
remember?
I don't remember
Okay.
I don't remember the song, though.
Listen, we didn't have a VCR as a kid. We'd have to rent it up until we finally got one. When I got a movie, it was watch, rewind. Like I watched that intro so many times. Like huge Ninja Turtle fan. So we went through 3 levels. The boss fights, everything just feels like the pacing is so great. You run through the levels. There's so much going on. I saw Servant, who's in chat. He tweeted about like, look, I love this game, but I want to see everything that's going on around me versus just watching, because you'll see the Foot Clan like playing Game Boys, right? You'll see them like just like passed out on cars, just like whatever. Like the animations, the pixel art, like this. This is probably my game of the year. I'm just gonna say it right now. It's probably my game of the year, and it's basically an indie game. Nate from the chat here saying the music is sexy. Cryptic says. There's a little Streets of Rage in here with how the characters have a few combos and special attack. Yeah.
Yeah, you can level up your character, like there's something to say with like your power. I haven't looked into it a whole lot. I don't know if that's maybe we were playing arcade here in the footage, but I think there's something added to power in the story mode, and then it also has a little Mario 3 overworld map where you drive around in the turtle bus.
Oh my gosh, that's reminiscent of the very first game, which wasn't that great. Here's the comment from Servant here as well. I was so happy to see the Foot Clan playing Game Boys on the first level. Yes, indeed. So, really, just a great game. I cannot say enough. And it's so nice to be able to say that, right? And don't get me wrong, I completely understand there's a nostalgia pull. Once Cheesy and Johnny go hands on with this, I'll be curious to know their thoughts, and if it's like this is a game I could see myself just playing all the way through and then starting over again. And especially I can't wait to play it on Xbox. I know it's a Nintendo show, but I want to get the achievements for this game, like, because they're unlocking even on the Switch, but I'm sure it's not cross.
No, and I had wishful hoping, because there's crossplay on the Xbox version, so I'm assuming at least to PC, if not PlayStation potentially. I haven't looked into that yet, but I rebooted up my Switch version to double check if there was crossplay to enable on the Switch, and there's not, unfortunately.
I do want to point out here, because I'm not sure we'll get to the footage, but Servant says there's also an achievement if you get hit while taunting. I went down in the skateboard level and Crawler's supposed to pick me up, right? But what does Crawler do? He doesn't know his left and rights tonight because he's been ill. These are his exact words. I'm not just being rude. He just sits and laughs at me while I'm on the ground. He just keeps laughing as Raphael. I'm like, I mean, this is fitting for Raphael to pick you up this way, but no, then my body just disappears off the road because
the timer ran down.
The timer ran out and Crawler didn't pick me up. So yeah, good times.
Yeah,
good
but
times.
The music in this third level is amazing. So the whole thing. We also get flattened by cars, and you just become roadkill turtle for a little bit.
Yeah, and as soon as that happened, Crawler lost it. Like, it was, just so well done. You kickflip every time you jump on your little turtle skateboard. Like, so many things. I'm just so happy. I hadn't had a chance to play. Like, this game dropped last night, and I was
dropped this morning. I don't think it dropped last night.
Oh,
I think it
that's
came out
right.
this morning.
It was 9 a.m.
I wanted to play it at midnight.
Yeah,
but it didn't.
At 9 o'clock last night, or like 10. I was assuming it came out at 9. There's the animation where Crawler just so I was like, oh, I should go grab my Switch and play Turtles. And I was like, I'm already in bed. Forget it. But then I saw a tweet this morning that was like, it's not coming out till 9 a.m. I was like, oh, cool. I didn't miss anything. So I love what Nate is saying here. He says, I could see myself getting pizza grease and Cheeto dust on your Joy-Cons. Yeah, I'm actually looking forward to hooking up the SNES controllers and playing this game with that. It'll feel very, very nostalgic.
With the D-pad will be nice.
Cryptic's asking, how does it run on the Switch? I thought it ran fantastic.
Yeah, this is on Switch. You're seeing our footage.
Here's Crawler laughing at me, you guys, instead of picking me up. Right here. Let's just laugh, Crawler. Okay? Yeah, great. Love it. There goes my body. It just lets me go.
And then you actually are nice and pick me up and give me pizza.
Right. That's right. I'm like, here, I got you. So I don't know what
then you steal a pizza though as soon as you get me up.
Hey, we don't look at that achievement unlocked.
Yeah, so I missed out on an achievement. I laughed, but I probably got the other one.
You got I think so. You probably did. So overall, it's just really fun to be able to be this hyped and this stoked for a new game. And yeah, there it is. I stole the pizza on accident. Whoops. But I'm totally with Nate. This would be like a perfect game. Like, as I was playing this, I'm like, I used to play Turtles in the arcade with my uncle a ton. So I might have him come over and get some games. But 6 players online. My gut feeling is thank you, Game Pass, because I have a feeling the extra money that went into the dev cycle of this game probably is what pushed them to be able to hire I'm assuming they outsourced it and were able to get it done because they saw the outcry. The outcry was definitely there. And so the fact that we have 6-player online,
because
Casey
Streets of Rage 4 didn't have online, right? Or did
no, it
does.
Yeah, it did.
Okay.
Yeah. So
they had history with that then. That was good.
There's too many of us not living near old friends and everything at this point. It's like, if this game didn't have online, we'd be having a different conversation right now, because the fact that we could just jump in and it was virtually seamless, and between levels you can add players, and it looks like you can also do see how it says press start in the corner right there. I'm assuming that means I could bring in another person on my Switch, which I think is also great, because it's just, yeah, this is the bar. If you're going to create a retro game that is, from an older series, get the online on there, bring in extra player. Like, this would be chaos with 6 people, and I can't wait. I am here for it, So
it seems like it's already getting great reception, which is amazing, because like we only saw this game once or twice. I mean, they really did not have to sell you on the idea of turtles. Like, if you've played the games in the past, or you knew what you were getting yourself into, like that's it. And it looks like they did a great job. Like you said, it's a new game, but it does look like an older game.
Well, and they got the original voice actors to come back, and the music is on point, and there was the second level, there was a callback to Turtles in Time, because it was Big Apple 3 p.m. instead of 3 a.m.
Right.
Oh, nice.
So I mean, they're aware of the history of the franchise.
Yeah, you could just tell it's people that really cared. They really, really cared about this, and it shows. And I mean, just even these scenes right here, this is when you guys get a chance to play the arcade games. If you never have, when the collection comes out, like you will see there's Big Apple 3 p.m. Like,
and this is almost a shot for shot of the 89 arcade level, isn't it?
There's a lot of similarities. Yeah. A lot of similarities. The first stage in the 89 arcade is in a burning building, and you fight Shredder, and then he jumps out of he jumps out with April.
But then you end up on the street, though.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Which is very similar. And I believe you pull up in the van just like this. So Cryptic is asking about the collection. Does it have online for any games? And the answer is yes. There are 4 of the, what is it, 13 games, I believe, have online.
Yeah, there's a lot of them that have online. The fighting game, like multiple versions of the fighting game, and Turtles in Time in the arcade, and there's a good chunk of them that have online.
I think arcade and Turtles in Time arcade have online. Hyperstone Heist, which I don't know if it's 2 or 4 players, because it was a Sega game and I never played it. It's essentially Turtles in Time, but it is just a little variant on it.
Mm-hmm.
That one has online. And then the Tournament Fighters, I believe that was on the SNES. So those are your 4 titles with online.
Yeah, there's 4 or 5. Yeah, like 4 or 5 titles out of the 13 that have, because the Game Boy games aren't going to have it, and
no,
and some of the ones that don't need to be repeated. We probably should have followed down a manhole, now that I'm thinking about it, because it probably has some kind of achievement, and there's probably some kind of animation custom to it.
The way it used to be, your turtle would fall down, but the eyeballs would still be the last thing to fall, which was hilarious. Like, just, yeah, the animations just put a smile on your face. It's we just had Strikers come out. It's also got beautiful animations. Like, it's just great to see, even though this is just a pixel art game, it feels like your characters are more alive. It feels like the enemies are more alive. Like, it's not just like, oh, let me do a walk animation, let me do an attack animation, and then like there's so much going on, and it makes it great. So I just mentioned Strikers. Johnny, how much Strikers have you played?
2 hours.
Hey, that's good. That's good.
I mean, I haven't played many games in the past week, but I mean, what I played with Strikers was fun.
Mm-hmm.
There's just there's nothing to it. It's a very bare bones. I mean, the ranked season hasn't started yet, so we'll see if that brings people back. You can only do 2v2 online. You can't do 4v4 online, which a lot of people are upset about. So I don't know. I don't know if this is spoilers, but if you beat the normal cups, you unlock a new piece of gear, and then you unlock a harder difficulty, the Galactic difficulty. And if you beat all the Galactic cups, you get nothing, or you get coins. You get coins. You
To
don't
buy-
get
to
any
buy
new
gear.
Yeah, and I just don't know why.
And
They would
those
have
those
an
cups are a
unlockable.
true step up. Like
Yeah,
I think Valdo was like, you think
yeah.
Elden
Valdo was
Ring's hard?
struggling. Valdo was struggling.
You think
He's
Elden
like, I
Ring's
gotta get a
hard?
video out. I gotta get a video out. I gotta show what you get for the Galactic Cups, and then he spent like 4 or 5 hours trying to beat him.
Yeah.
Say,
Cheesy,
I-
you've spent a little time. Oh, go ahead, Crawler.
I mean, I came back this weekend. I was out of town, and the mountain town that I was in didn't get their shipment in right away, so I didn't get it on Friday. I picked it up on Saturday when I got home. But I beat all the original, like the first round of cups or whatever, all in one sitting, and got the
Yeah, they're kind of baby mode.
rolled the credits. So beat the game. You know, I'll polish that one.
I should add that to the list to beat real quick.
Hey, credits for all accounts.
Credits roll.
Yeah.
I have not actually ventured online. I mean, I got a fair amount out of how sweaty it was going to be in the test fire thing that we had, but I'll definitely have to check it out a little bit. I've been buying gear, but I've been focusing on shooting, so I probably need to diversify a little bit and see what, because I think strength, when people try to tackle you, if you can sit there and weather their tackle, then you can sometimes just strong arm them. But there's definitely going to be, I think, metas develop if it hasn't already. But I haven't been venturing online.
Cheesy.
I mean, I definitely have put more than 2 hours into the game. I think the game is fun until it's not. And that's like you play maybe like 4 or 5 games. And then after a while, it just becomes frustrating because a lot just seems like it's out of your control. Your CPUs on your team, it seem like they're falling asleep because like they're not actually like going towards the ball until you click on them. And that's another frustrating thing, is it seems like you can't ever reach the person, the character that you want to be using at that time. And so you're having to hit the, I think it's what, R button or L, and multiple times, and like the play is already moved on to another play. I mean, the animation is great. I think what is going to help this game a lot is when they do bring in new characters, you get to see those animations. The whole 4v4, I can see them adding that at a later time. I mean, it's not going to help the game. It should have already been there to begin with. But they did the same thing with Mario Maker, right? There was no online, and then they added it later. So I feel like they could fix
Did
that.
they add it though on Mario Maker?
That's a good point. Yeah.
Because it was a slideshow. It wasn't really.
I mean, I think that's the issue with the 4v4, because you're linking up 8 different connections. And I mean, I know they have like Splatoon and everything, but
It's a very fast paced kind of thing that they got here.
I mean, I get so frustrated with Strikers, and I'm not even like somebody who will rage quit or anything, but I am getting frustrated with it. And it made me think about other online games that we all play, and this one just doesn't do what those other ones do. I mean, there's no reason to keep playing. You just get coins, and you're getting coins to buy gear, but after you get the gear, then what is there to do? And like games like Splatoon or Rocket League or Halo, Fortnite, any of those games, like you are in control and it feels like you are making a difference in the game, where this does have skill
The
involved.
game plays you.
It does though. I mean, like it's a lot of luck.
Yeah, if Boom Boom sucks, that
Oh my
game-
god. Oh, I don't even get
Or
me
he gets
started.
his ass knocked out sometimes, and he's just laying there on the
Boom
ground.
Boom's garbage. Can I fire Boom Boom from my team?
Wait,
Bring
do we
back
need-
the
do we- hang on.
The critter.
No, go ahead.
Boom Boom sucks. Bring back the creature. What are they called?
Critter.
Kremlins. The Kremlins. Is it a critter? I thought
I
it was a
think
Kremlin.
It's a Kremlin. Yeah, no,
yeah.
Critters are like this cheesy 80s movie. Like, avoid at all costs unless you're into some B movies. Then-
But I don't think that's even a hot take. Like, I think
No.
everybody agrees that Boom Boom sucks.
Oh, yeah.
He takes up most of the goal. How does he miss so many goals? Like, how does he miss so many?
I think it's really bad when like anytime I see Boom Boom now, even in a different Mario game, it's going to trigger me because of how bad he is. In Battle League, it's terrible.
Get the ball! Get the ball! Come on.
Have you done any of the online customization stuff for your?
Oh,
for your...
so yeah, for me, like it doesn't do much. Like I think it's great that it's there because it's better than nothing. But for the customization, for those that don't know, like when you make a club, you can customize your stadium. So you can customize like the way that the goal looks. You can customize the fence, the way that the field looks. Which, like, again, better than nothing. But it also, like, it doesn't, like, we don't see the stadium that much. It just feels like it's there because they were like, oh, we need to add some kind of customization. So let's have them customize the stadium. But
It's just something that's there in cutscenes, pretty much. That's kind of it.
yeah. I think I would have rather had big stadiums that were tied to different characters or areas instead of mashing the two together. Like we've seen in previous Mario sports games. It's fun. Don't get me wrong. Like I think it's fun and it's cool that it's back again, but it is weird watching Turtles footage that did what it was supposed to, and it's pulling at all of the nostalgia strings, and Mario Strikers is not doing the same.
Cryptic asked the question, do you think free updates can improve upon the customization of the clubs?
I don't think anybody's going to care when the free updates come. I think everybody's going to be gone.
I mean, probably a lot of people with this week, Turtles is the new hotness and Strikers is last week's news.
I do want to see how the clubs work. You know, like we don't know what is going to be given or if it's worth playing, if the ranks mean anything. So I do want to give that a chance, but at this point, we've talked about it at length that they just don't have that carrot on the stick. You play Rocket League, Fortnite, any of these online games, there's always something to be playing for. And this is like, you get coins, but wait until the next season pops up and then we'll give you like one thing probably. I'm guessing.
I'm playing for Darth Vader right now in Fortnite.
Yeah. Switch Sports is doing a heck of a better job than Strikers.
Still nobody's talking about that.
But I'm incentivized to log in and get the stuff. Like,
yeah,
I at least try to stay ahead of the one that's going away. Like, and there's a new one that probably came out here just a couple hours ago. So I haven't logged in to see, but like that is definite motivation because we don't know if that stuff is coming back. There's name titles that are added in there. There's emotes. There's clothing options. There's a whole special thing that's unlocked once you unlock the full set. Like that is the best Nintendo has done with live engagement for one of their games in a long time. Probably, I would almost argue better than Splatoon, because Splatoon, once you complete the catalog's there, and then you're just working on rolls. Like, this is at least new like, how many weeks have we been preaching the whole carrot on the stick? Switch Sports has a carrot on a stick. It might not be that enticing for a lot of people, but people that are playing the game, that's at least exciting them about it, I think. And even the more casual person that isn't super invested but is aware and maybe has a little bit of that FOMO. I mean, I'm getting that, so I want to make sure I log in and play a couple games of bowling or volleyball or whatever I need to do to get my, because how many unlocks do you have to do? You probably have to get like 1,600 points probably at least
probably.
to unlock the full page. So
Yeah.
I mean, you gotta do a decent amount each week to stay ahead of it. But they give you 3 weeks, which is nice.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say something that may or may not upset some people. We'll see. But Cryptic asked this question: do you think these Mario sports titles need to take a backseat now? I feel like the Switch tried to bring new life to them, but it didn't pan out.
No.
In my opinion, okay, yeah, let's go ahead. Answer this question. Go ahead, Cheesy. You start.
All right. I'm saying no because I do think that like you can consider Mario Kart a sports game.
Okay.
And even
Game
though
Awards does, I think, right?
do they?
Racing
Is it under
game.
the?
It's a
I
racing
think it's
game.
racing.
Mhm.
Okay. So they still could make these Mario sports games great. There's no reason why they can't be. And it's Nintendo. I mean, those are the biggest characters known to everyone. Like, everyone knows who Mario is, you know? So why can't you make your games as good as your IPs? And make them like wacky, give them some new items. I feel like the thing that we run into is these new sports games come out and they have a gimmick, and when they show it off, it looks so fun and it looks really cool. But that gimmick goes away so fast, and
Gets old.
that's the game. Yeah, it gets old. They could be doing the same thing. Honestly, Mario Kart and Splatoon seem to be their online games right now, and there's always something to collect in Mario Kart. There is no like story mode, right? But you are playing the cups, and there's always something that you can get.
I think you have a good point right there. They're looking at the Mario Kart model and trying to fit the other games into that exact model, where it's not a story, it's a basic kind of play through something real quick, a cup, or in Aces or Golf's instance, like it was just a bare bones kind of single player thing that showed off its gimmick.
Right.
And you can't get, Mario Kart has just sheer numbers to keep online and sheer courses to vary the gameplay. When you have crappy courses in golf and tennis matches that take place on the same kind of looking court, there's no new rejuvenation of picking your course that you get to do in Mario Kart. And so it feels old and stale, and it feels the same over and over and over again. And then you get the sweats that start coming in there. There's sweats in Mario Kart, but at least you can have your course that you're trying to pick or that you're comfortable with, and there's variations on that. And Mario Kart is also a great equalizer with some of the items that they throw in you. But you look at like what, going back to whose question? Cryptic's question.
Yeah.
I think they tried to bring new life to him, but they didn't look at the history that they have. I think I beat this drum way too much, but World Tour was a well-rounded game of a Mario sports title. It had challenges, it had online tournaments, it had asynchronous tournaments, it had just a full breadth of features that I think we've talked about this multiple times. We don't know if it's necessarily the developers or Nintendo. I think we're leaning more towards Nintendo because it's happened on multiple different instances now that they see the success of Mario Kart and the sales numbers, and they're like, just put a game out like that. It doesn't need to have other stuff. Whereas it needs to have challenges. Strikers could have different one-on-one challenge, like do something, shootout mode, or
play as Boom Boom and try to block as many balls as you can.
Get something else in there. But when it's just 5 different things on the menu, and one is single player, one is online, one is training, like that's not much to go on for $60, and then it wears off even faster.
I got one more thing, and I'll let Josh talk. But surprise, I'm going to talk about Splatoon. I feel like that game actually does a really great job of giving you constant things to earn. I mean, when you're done with battles, you do get coins. You can level up, and then you use those coins to buy weapons. But you can also buy gear as well, which is like your clothing, shoes, I'm missing something, but like there's
guns.
Yeah, your hats. Yeah.
Did you mention even the food? Like the food, and
you can get food to help level up your character as well. So even with the stores, like they only have, I think it's like 5 or 6 items a day, but then the next day there's a whole new rotation for you to go back into the game and get some of those items. Why don't they do that with these sports games?
Yeah. And when when the game's new, Splatfest every month guaranteed. So you got a weekend that you can grind out certain stuff if you want, because that's when people would get the chunks going as best they could. There's also unique gear inside Salmon Run that's different than the stuff that you're earning out there. So like that's kind of your FOMO area of Splatoon. It does cycle back through usually, but there's sometimes different stat rolls on it. So
it's probably because they're thinking about money, right? So they're thinking
it's money, it's time and development.
Yeah, no matter what we do for Strikers or any of these sports titles, they're gonna sell 3 million units. That's it. Like, there's no real potential for growth there. Like Splatoon, they know it sells well. They know, Splatoon 3 is going to sell well. So they'll probably put more time and effort into it.
Yeah, you're going to lose a bet probably,
13.9 million units or something, like in a year, as opposed to 14. But
I mean, I'm just saying, Splatoon.
The bet's 20, right? Isn't the bet 20?
No, yeah, that was Switch Sports.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
yeah.
I don't know. We got probably too many bets going on, right?
The first thing is, I would say that any of us that have been playing Nintendo games for very long, when we see that there's 10 playable characters in Strikers, we would immediately think there must be ways to unlock more characters, right?
Smash taught us that back in 1990, whatever.
I mean, Mario Kart taught us that. It's always been that you unlock carts, you unlock characters. Like, I mean, back to the Wii anyway. Maybe it goes back a little for like DS, I think, as well. But so that's missing. Okay. Now, Crawler, you mentioned World Tour again. That game barely sold 500,000, or didn't even sell 500,000 copies. Okay. Cryptic asked, should we put this on the back burner? My mind went to exactly where Servant's mind went, and he said, "Aren't all these sports titles small enough to combine into one game release?"
Isn't there a
they did that already?
3D All-Stars?
Yeah,
I have the numbers right here. Golf, soccer, baseball, horseback riding, and tennis sold 5.21 million copies, which is like way more than World Tour by itself. And it's literally World Tour levels. They just put World Tour levels. The game has the same amount.
All those sports are probably less gimmicky than all of them are in their individual titles, right?
It has soccer, which has about the same amount of content as Strikers. Tennis is tennis, right? It is what it is. I think it's pulled right out of baseball. We haven't seen forever, so that was fun to be able to play again. And it's a pretty dumbed down version of baseball, if I remember correctly. And then the horseback riding was it was corny and not any good.
Yeah.
But I think when you say they had a game with World Tour that had everything in it, and it was one of the first games to ever have a season pass with DLC, and it didn't even sell 1 million copies on I would say a relatively healthy Nintendo system, the 3DS.
At that when it came out, it was for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
because World Tour came out before the Switch came out, right?
oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I played the heck out of the game. I couldn't wait to jump back into Mario Golf, and I had a great time with it. I could probably I probably have a decent amount of hours in that game, honestly. And I mean, we were still doing tournaments like
Super Rush Super Rush got me to buy World Tour because I wanted Mario Golf before Mario Golf was available.
But I'm kind of the mind at this point that yes, they should combine these sports games, because even if they release a baseball game, come out with a sports collection pack that is basically like game of the year, that just puts all these things together. But if they're not going to give us what World Tour was when it comes to a sports title, yeah, they really should think about going. And I mean, look, it sold 5.21 million copies when they combined them all. It scratched that Strikers itch for me. It also has amiibo cards. So they made money from amiibo cards by you could collect things in game and add different characters and stuff by having amiibo cards.
Yep. People got to stop buying the individual games though for that to
they do
out.
And Nintendo's flexing their brand muscle. And it's unfortunate that as longtime fans, we either have to say, okay, I'm not going to buy it, but I'm reading it in chat right now. Joanna's like, this game's pretty repetitive. Nate's like, after I played the demo, I didn't want it. You know, like,
I wonder if this is going to be the one that breaks the cycle.
I have a feeling it's going to sell better than the other two sports titles.
You think so? I don't think it is. I don't think it's going to sell better. I mean, I've seen a lot of people say.
Didn't it review better than the other two though?
A lot of people said it was thin, so maybe.
I mean, but it's still got 7s and 8s though, didn't it?
Yeah.
I think that's better. Isn't that better than Aces and Super Rush?
I'd have to check, but I feel like Super Rush was a 6 at least, or like a lot of people gave it relatively low numbers. So,
I mean, but we gotta imagine that they're working on a Sluggers game, right? Like that's got to be around the corner.
Yeah, it's probably the next one. And then everybody is going to be the same cycle. Everybody's going to be excited that Sluggers is back, just like Strikers is back. And then it's going to be, here's 10 characters.
Give me a stadium. Yeah, give me a stadium where it's, the like levels from Tropical Freeze and being inside of the like Luigi's Mansion. Like, I don't know how that would work, but you could definitely make a stadium around that. Like it's a haunted stadium, there could be like levels or a stadium from Super Mario Odyssey. Like they're missing the charm, I think, of what makes these games Nintendo. Like, yeah, you have your items and the kind of wackiness, but like I guess the charm in Strikers is the animation and the way that all of these characters act. That is actually really well done. And Next Level, I mean, they should be proud of what they did for those Mario characters. But then outside of that, it just feels very like it. I guess it's Strikers it is Strikers. Like they did what they wanted to do, but like it doesn't add anything new. And it kind of feels like this game is on the Wii.
All right,
like
you guys ready for
gameplay wise?
You ready for Metacritic? And there's a trend. Aces Metacritic score is 75, user score is 7. Golf is a Metacritic score of 70, user score is 5.6, so it's trending down there.
Yeah.
Battle League is Metacritic score of 74. User score is 4.4.
Ouch.
I mean, that might be people bombing it
Right.
right now, but
yeah.
it's fresh and new, so it doesn't have a chance to try to even it out. But I mean, that's a
Out of curiosity, what is the Switch Sports at?
Ooh, we can look that one up as well. It's just we are going to hit a point where people stop. Like they're going to have to realize they can't flex the brand any longer. And but the other thing is
72 and 5.8.
Okay, so around the same numbers.
What's the name of the DS title, Josh? With all of them,
Mario Sports Mix, I think.
Mario 3D All Stars. Sports Mix was a Wii and a DS game, I believe.
3D All Stars.
It would have been 3D All Stars. That's what...
Sorry, Super Mario. Yeah. Wait. I pulled up the wrong. I typed. So
you were wrong with the singles.
Forgive me. Yeah, I think it may be. Yeah, I typed in Sports Superstar. I typed in sports, but it brought up
Sports Mix.
Yeah,
That's
it's sports. It's sports. Mario Sports Superstars.
Okay,
that's what I googled, and then it brought up 3D All Stars for some reason.
That's a 62 on
fix their naming convention.
Yeah, 62 on Metacritic, and user score is 7.5.
But let me find the actual sales numbers now, because that's literally what I typed in, but they gave me All Stars. So, I'm not even.
While you're looking that up, like I know that we've talked about strikers a lot, and I don't even think we're talking about strikers anymore at this point. It's just like these are some things that Nintendo needs to look at and how they can fix them. And strikers just happens to be the game that is, I guess, taking all the hits.
Well, it's been a ladder step, as we just demonstrated. It is, like Josh said before, is Nintendo relying on brand loyalty, and when it comes to the sports titles, that loyalty and faith in what they're delivering is drying up.
Yeah,
pulling up the sales now. So let's see.
Servant said, would you rather play strikers or switch sports soccer with friends? You can only do two players with on each game, right? That's odd. Why would they do that?
Because their netcode can't handle it.
So it's actually horrible. It's not even. It's at 4.6. 0.46.
0.46 million.
Yeah.
So not even a million. Not even half a million.
So, not even half a million.
So what that tells me is that they know they don't have a lot of faith in these sports titles. So they're gonna put out the lowest quality product, a relatively low quality product at $60, knowing that the numbers aren't going to be fantastic. It's going to use the Switch's pull to, and I do apologize, guys. I literally typed Mario Sports All Stars and it brought up 3D All Stars. So, the writing's on the wall. They know these games are going to do, like Johnny said, that 2 to 3 million mark. And that's it.
There's
they
been
get their
a
money
shift.
And they're happy.
There's been a shift since 64, GameCube, and Wii, which was communal couch co-op. Like, I think we talked about this like a week or two ago. The sports titles thrived on couch co-op because did we have online play with some of the sports titles?
It did with strikers for sure.
Okay. I mean, but
apparently it was really bad. I mean, the Wii online
was not great.
Yeah. And Strikers Charge sold 2.6 million copies
on a system that sold 103 million units, right?
Are you still feeling 10 million copies on this one, Josh? I think you said that last time.
I think you said this was going to be the best-selling sports title.
I still think that. I don't know about 10 any longer. I don't know about 10. The demo changed everything because everybody went, they pumped their brakes on it. Like it was probably the thing that hurt this game the most. The fact that they did that test fire.
You know what this feels? It feels like they're winding down the Switch.
It does
Like
when they
all
should
the
be stepping
titles-
on the gas.
Yeah, like all the titles they're releasing are just kind of okay. I mean, we
Filler.
have some big ones coming out this year. We have Splatoon 3, we have Xenoblade 3.
Fire
have
Emblem. I mean, Three
Fire
Hopes. Like,
Emblem.
even though it's a Muso game, like it looks pretty good. And for the Fire Emblem community, like that should be a lot for them. On
It'll
top
still
of
be a low selling game though.
yeah,
1 million copies.
doesn't
I
mean
mean,
that
that's
it
like
won't.
really good for a Muso.
It's a Muso. I don't know if it'll get 1 million. What is Age of
Warriors
Calamity
did.
have?
The first one did. Fire Emblem Warriors, the first one hit 1 million. And I think Age of Calamity's at like 3 point something.
4
Because
million.
it was the highest selling Warriors game.
4 million.
4 million.
Wow. Well, maybe then.
It'll sell probably 1 million. I would think it would sell 1 million.
I'm curious as to what you guys think of Nate's question. It says, how complete or how bare do we think Splatoon 3 will be?
Wrong one.
That might be the final straw.
I think
What
it's
are
going to be
your
about
thoughts?
the same as Splatoon 2. I think the content is going to be the same. That's the one thing that I'm worried about. I think I love Splatoon 2. I think it's a fantastic game, but I'm just worried that it's just going to be updated weapons and updated gear, like the same amount of weapons, same amount of gear, same amount of content that Splatoon 2 is. So I don't know if that's complete or bare. I want something new.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, so far, like they haven't really shown a lot. I mean, like they have shown some things that are new, but we still are kind of left in the dark. I mean, the game doesn't come out until September. I am also kind of in the same boat. Like I want to have faith in the Splatoon team, and I think that they are really smart. But they have already announced that like all of the regular weapons that were in Splatoon 2 are going to be in this game at launch. And that's amazing. Like that's so cool. But they're already there. So like hopefully there's still more that is coming. That there's new weapons that are going to show up, not just like here's all of the weapons. Hope you guys are satisfied because we have nothing else planned. I don't think that's the case. I think Splatoon is a different title.
Well, they've also had almost 5
special.
years to work on it, right? Like
It's been 5 years.
Yeah.
But like all the weapons coming out that's a courtesy to the fans, because how would you like to be the one person that doesn't get your weapon back?
Right.
The thing that you're comfortable with, your security blanket, and then you're
Get good with something else.
Get good? Is that your is that the recommendation of Johnny Bo?
Yeah. Get
good. Okay. So, but like they're going to offer variations on different things. There'll be new stuff. They have 5 years to work on something, and they're also bringing back Splatoon 1 stuff that people did get left back in that game, right? Correct? Am I right in saying that?
Yeah, they're modified special weapons, but it does seem like this game is more of a sequel to Splatoon 1 for those that didn't get to play the first game. I think that Servant is right. Like the competitive esports side of Splatoon should keep it going strong for a while. The thing that does concern me is that it's the same team that made Animal Crossing, or at least it used to be. Maybe they have grown and expanded. And Animal Crossing, like, we have no idea what happened with that game. It was on fire, and then nothing really.
It took 5 years to go to an airport.
Yeah,
they got their money. They got 38 million copies sold.
For sure. But like, as the consumer, everybody was kind of getting upset that like there wasn't a lot that was new or things that weren't added to the game that were in previous games.
Trickled too slowly too.
This may not be a take that everybody loves, but I would prefer, if Nintendo's going to flex their brand, that they would flex it on the side of, we get more content, more paid DLC. Even, I know that's not a it's not a popular thing to say, but I believe the Animal Crossing community would still be going hard in that game if they were putting out content for it. I have no doubt about it. Like, I don't understand how I don't understand how the people that make these business decisions are not going, why isn't there more Animal Crossing content going out when we have a game with the user base that is so hungry to spend money, either to sign up for the Nintendo Switch Online expansion, or there's I mean,
What would that content look like for you? Is that more villagers?
We've talked about it at length on the different, like on the Animal Crossing podcast, even on here. Give us a cruise ship. Give us a cruise ship with mini games so that we can all play together and do hide and seek build it into the game. Bug collecting.
Well, it needs
VR. Yes, Animal Crossing VR. I'm here for it.
It needs better netcode, because the loading, I think,
it needs to be drop in and drop out. Like, and I know we're sitting here with microphones saying this is what it needs to be. I know, because they're trying to keep people from duplicating items, copying items, and doing all that.
Who cares anymore?
They still do. Like, if you copied crowns, we're gonna fix this immediately.
You time traveled.
Yeah, but I know that there's a community that's hungry, and I just don't like, they're gonna go start making a new game when they could milk this one, but it wouldn't necessarily be milking it. You would have a happy fan base that is like, thank you for not giving up on this and giving us something to do.
Also, you're screwing yourself for the next one, right? Like, if you have people, if your fan base is angry with you, right? They're more likely to not support the next product,
potentially,
or speak ill of it in a platform that they might have.
Like, there's no way the next Animal Crossing sells 40 million copies. There's no way.
Well,
No,
I mean,
they caught lightning. They caught lightning in a bottle, I think.
Yeah, it was under different circumstances, right? But I think that they could be working on this next game and making it the best that it could be, because of the response that they got for Animal Crossing. I mean, it's in their top 4 of their IPs, right? Animal Crossing is one of them. I think that it's a possibility that COVID got in the way of getting more content out. Maybe they had more stuff planned. It could have also been that they were just tired of people asking for new content and they couldn't deliver, and they just felt bad about it. So they were like, we're not going to do any more, but they're probably working on the next game and making it even better. Like, why can't we really interact with items the same way that you can in Pocket Camp? I think maybe that was, for those that are familiar with Animal Crossing, Pocket Camp did a lot of cool things that we haven't seen in Animal Crossing before, and then that didn't even come over into the game.
Which was kind of do you guys remember back when they were talking about how mobile and Wii U and the DS and the 3DS and the Switch and everything was going to kind of be linked together, and you were going to be able to do this cool stuff? It never really happened. Servant's talking about business decision, allow Animal Crossing to fade away so people buy the new game, which was successful. Why push the envelope now? I'm saying they should have pushed it a year ago, right? That, like, they should have said, here's the expansion coming out, and then coming later 2022 or 2023 is these cruise ships, or a city island where we could go, just like in City Folk, and go see some of the characters that have yet to make their entrance back into the game. Like, again, we bring up golf versus or World Tour versus Super Rush, but New Leaf versus New Horizons there's things they left that we never got back. That so many people that never played New Leaf because it sold a fraction of what New Horizons did. I mean, again, low hanging fruit. Just bring some of that stuff over. Bring it. I mean, again, I know we're guys with microphones, but like, I know how hungry the Animal Crossing community is. That would still play that game. And I know, I get what Servant's saying about but buy the new game, but the new game won't be out. I mean, could be 7 years from now.
And they have a
7
guaranteed
years.
40 million plus install base.
Exactly.
I mean, they could be working on an update right now. They said no more updates, and
Free
that
updates, right?
right. Well, that just quiets the fans down. And then Welcome Amiibo came out on New Leaf years after that game released. So maybe that is the next step. Is that they're just
maybe on the
29th.
On the 29th, we'll see.
Maybe on October or August 25th, when they do a direct, which we didn't even.
Don't say that's going to be that long for a direct.
No, it's the 29th.
It'll be
June 29th.
Fall Guys comes out on the 21st. It'll be the 21st.
They didn't get Silk Song, so like, what do they?
Yeah, we haven't even talked about that.
And Xbox didn't get GoldenEye apparently, even though the achievements leaked on their own website. Yep. So
maybe they flipped it. And Banjo apparently was supposed to be shown at Xbox.
Yeah. So, well, hey, we hit an hour. We will write these topics down. We'll come back to them next week. We're gonna be doing this Wednesday, right? Because Cheesy's getting married, so everybody wish Cheesy.
Yeah, appreciate that.
A blissful and long marriage, and we're gonna wrap this thing up. We love you guys for hanging out with us in chat. Thank you for listening after the fact, and we'll see you guys in the next one. Bye, everybody.